In the sultry heat of Alexandria, 1919, when the Mediterranean winds carried whispers of war's end, a different kind of darkness was taking root in the narrow alleys of Al-Laban district. The port city buzzed with life, its markets teeming with women adorned in gold, their jewelry catching the sunlight like beacons of prosperity. For in those days, a woman's worth was measured not just in her beauty, but in the gleaming treasures that adorned her neck, her wrists, her ears. Every piece of gold was a declaration of status, a symbol of security in uncertain times. But in the shadows of this glittering world, two sisters watched and waited. Month after month through 1919 and into 1920, reports flooded into Alexandria's police stations. Women, mothers, daughters, wives were vanishing without a trace. Authorities often dismissed these cases, attributing the disappearances to women simply leaving their lives behind. After all, these were turbulent times, and people disappeared. It was the way of things, but the families knew better. They could feel it in their bones. Something sinister was stalking the women of Alexandria. November 15th, 1920, a date that would forever change the course of Egyptian criminal history. An elderly man in the Al-Laban district made a discovery that would haunt him for the rest of his days. While installing a new sewage system in an apartment building, his shovel struck something that shouldn't have been there. Not metal, not stone.
Bones. Human bones.
Wives were vanishing without a trace. 17 souls would disappear from the streets of Alexandria, leaving 17 families wondering, searching, and pleading for answers that wouldn't come. The missing women shared one fatal commonality. They had all been seen wearing their finest jewelry on the day they vanished. The nauseating stench that rose from the earth told a story of death and decay. When police arrived at the scene, following the putrid smell that neighbors had been complaining about for weeks, they uncovered a horror that defied imagination. Beneath the ground floor apartment, buried in shallow graves, lay the decomposing remains of 17 women. The missing women of Alexandria had been found. The forensic examination revealed the terrible truth. Each victim had been suffocated, their bodies showing signs of struggle, their valuables stripped away. The official investigation determined that the victims died of suffocation and that jewelry theft was the primary motive. But the method was far more sinister than simple robbery. The police investigation led them to two sisters, Raya and Sakina Ali Hammam. Along with their husbands, Hasabala and Abdalal, they had orchestrated a scheme of such calculated cruelty that it shocked even seasoned investigators. Their hunting ground was the bustling marketplace, where gold glinted and opportunity beckoned. The sisters had perfected their deadly art. "I have much finer goods at home," one sister would whisper conspiratorially. "Imported treasures, and I offer excellent financing terms." The victim, enticed by the promise of rare goods and flexible payment, would follow the sisters to their house of horrors. There, they would be offered refreshments, tea or coffee laced with narcotics that would render them helpless. Once the victim was unconscious, the sisters would suffocate them by holding them down until they stopped breathing. They would then strip the body of all jewelry and valuables before burying the corpse beneath their floors. The trial of Raya and Sakina began in the spring of 1921, capturing the attention of the entire nation. On May 16, 1921, the court delivered its verdict. Raya and Sakina, along with their husbands and other accomplices, were found guilty of murder and sentenced to death. The house in Al-Laban district still stands today, its foundations forever stained with the blood of 17 innocent women. Their names may have been forgotten by history, but their story remains. A chilling reminder that in the pursuit of gold, some are willing to sacrifice everything, including their humanity. The case of Raya and Sakina would become legend, inspiring countless retellings in Egyptian literature, theater, and film. But beneath the sensationalism lies a darker truth, that in the shadows of every glittering marketplace, predators may still be lurking.